Hello students, Logan Phillips here. This video we're going to talk about Microsoft Word Chapter 2. So for this video I'm actually going to work through the guided project for the Microsoft Word. So the very first thing I want you to do, instead of getting the start files from the Blackboard website, I'm going to actually work through one of your assignments here on the Simnet environment. So from your Simnet dashboard, let me get into one of my courses here. We're going to go 18152. This is Computer Concepts, and I'm going to be working on the Microsoft Word Project Chapter 2 Guided Project. This is on your pacing schedule, this is on your calendar, but what we're going to do is we're going to go to the left-hand side, and I'm going to choose on my projects. And for my projects, I'm going to look for that Guided Project 2-1, Word 2016 in Practice, Chapter 2 Guided Project 2-1. Now with all Simnet projects, you're going to have pieces that are lined up here. And so I'm going to work through this project just like we would in class. I'm going to show you from downloading the start files, doing the assignment, all the way to uploading the file. So on the left-hand side, we have 3 download possibilities, or really 4 download possibilities. The very first one is the best practices. So let's click on that, click on it, and download it and see what it looks like. So the Simnet best practices is just that. It's the best methods to accomplish the tasks that it is asking you to do. So there is always multiple ways to do any assignment or any step in any assignment. Word gives you a variety of choices on how to accomplish tasks. So here we have different ways that you can download these assignments and work through it. All right, so I'm going to close that because I don't really need it. And I'm going to look at the next one. Now this is the instruction file. These are required. If you're using a PC, which is what I am doing, I'm on Microsoft 10 or Windows 10 and I'm using Office 2016, or if you're using a Macintosh, an Apple product, you'll be using one of the 2 of these. So I'm going to be using the Office for 2013-16 and I'm going to click and download it. Now I am using Microsoft Chrome, and so it downloads automatically to this PDF. You can see this is Word Guided Project 2-1, and these are all the steps that we're going to be working through to complete this project. And it looks like we're about 5 pages long and about 18 steps, so not too terrible. So I'm going to move this over to my other screen, and I'm not going to, or you're not going to be able to see that again. Now below that we have the start file. This is the beginning document for all of our projects. So I'm going to click on that start file, and this is either for Microsoft Word or for the Macintosh Word, either one you're using on. You can see it's going to download, and I'm going to open it up using Chrome. It downloads to the top left. I'm opening it up, and you can now see as soon as it opens that my name will be in the top middle of this project. Give it 1 second. Let's see. Now what's the Jeopardy sing? Do, do, do. Alright, so what we're going to be working on while this is opening is the very first steps. We're going to open the start file, and we're going to change it from protective view and enable editing. And then we're going to rename the file automatically, and we're going to save it. I'm going to choose to save it to my desktop. So the first 2 steps are pretty straightforward. We have it open. Now all documents when you download from the internet are going to be disabled. That is to protect your computer for potential computer viruses, hacking, those type of things. If it's a trusted source, you can actually click this enable editing button, and will allow you to start making changes to the document. So let's click on enable editing, which will open up our ribbon, and now we have complete control of the document. It is our document. Now I'm going to expand this document out a little bit just so you guys can see it a little bit better, and we're going to work on the steps. I have my instructions to my right hand screen, which you guys cannot see, and the document that we are actually working on the current screen that you are looking at. So for you guys, make sure you've downloaded the instruction and are following along, and I will stay out the instruction steps as I complete this document. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open the insurance questionnaire, and I'm going to have it automatically saved to my name. And you can see at the top, Logan Phillips, insurance questionnaire. It's automatically saved. So my next step is step 2. I'm going to change where it is saved. So if I click on the save button, it's just going to automatically save it as is. But I want to change the location. So I'm going to choose the backstage view. I'll go File. I'm going to choose Save As, and I'm going to go to my PC, and I'm going to look for my desktop. Now, from my desktop, I'm going to leave it as the exact same name because that's what it needs to be named when it uploads to Simnet, and I'm just going to click on the save. And the only thing that's done is now is put this document actually onto my desktop to where when I go to upload it later on at the very last step, let me see here, there we go, I can have this one little icon that's quickly accessible. You can see it's a Word document because it has a big blue W on it, and it has a DOCX, which is indicative of it being a Microsoft Word document. Alright, let me open this back up. Alright, so we've done steps 1 and 2 on Microsoft Word Guided Project 2-1. Now the next thing we're going to do is on step 3, we're going to change the margins of the document. Now remember that margins are the white spaces to the left, to the right, or on top and bottom of the document where your text is not going to be showing. And so to accomplish this task, we're going to click on the Margins button, which is in the Layout tab of the Page Setup group. So we're going to go over here to the Layout tab on our ribbon, which is the 4th tab, 5th tab in, and we're going to look on the Margins button in the Page Setup grouping. And we're going to do a custom margin. So I'm going to use my radio button at the very bottom, and I'm going to choose Custom Margins. With the custom margins, we're going to make this margin of the left margin and the right margin a 0.75 inch. And you can see right now, as soon as it opens up, my top margin's 1 inch, my left margin's 1 inch, bottom and right, all of them are 1 inch margins. So I'm going to change this from a 1 inch, which I'm going to highlight. I'm going to type in 0.75, and my right margin, I'm going to do the same thing, 0.75. Now notice on my document on the left and the right, the text is going to move from where it's stationed to closer to the left side. We're going to do the whole document, and we're going to put OK. And you can see the text moved very quickly to the left and to the right, and you can tell how far the distance is by looking at the rulers on the top left and top right hand, or top and the far left sides. If you're not seeing your rulers at the top or on the left, you can always go to your View tab and click on the Show Grouping and click on Ruler. That will either show or hide your rulers from your document. So that was step 3. So we are on step number 4. So in step number 4, we're going to change the theme of this document, and we're going to change the theme So we want to make all the text, the colors, and everything look nice. Now remember, themes are designed by Microsoft team, and they are pre-made, pre-manufactured colors, fonts, and groupings that go together and look really nice. So we're going to go over here to our Design tab, because design is always the way we make things look pretty, by clicking on the Design tab. And see on the left-hand side in the document formatting, we actually have a Themes button. So we're going to click on that Themes button, and specifically I'm going to choose that little down button, the radio button. And we're going to click the Themes button, which is on the Design tab, the document formatting group. We're going to select the integral, sorry, hard word for me, theme. Now you can notice that everything live updates depending on what theme I've chosen. Now these should be in order of either first used or last used, or in alphabetical order. So if you've done a lot of themes in the past, they might be out of alphabetical order. But if you haven't, they will be in alphabetical order. So I'm going to look at my integrals. On mine is the 4th column, 1st row. And so what you can tell on that, it has changed my font, it's changed my font size, it's changed the coloring of my styles. On my Design tab, it's modified my coloring groups are now all a part of this theme. It's changed my fonts that I can use for this theme. So it's changed a lot of different things that all work particularly together. Next, after we've chosen the integral, we're going to click on that Colors button, which is in the Design tab in the Document Formatting group, and we're going to choose a new color section. And we want to look at the aspect. So let's go ahead and find the aspect. All right. For me, it's the very last one. And you can see it's a color range that matches up really well together. And now my document formatting has all modified to that particular color range. So these are set colors inside the integral theme. Sorry. I should really be drinking water. I get cotton mouth, but the Dr. Pepper was in my office, so I drank that instead. So what we're looking at now is just basically making things look pretty. And so we've accomplished step 4 by using that design tab, document formatting group, and the colors button, radio button, and choosing the aspect color group. All right, on step 5, we're going to change the font size, paragraph spacing, and the line spacing of our entire document. So to do this, we're going to use a key command. We're going to use the Control and the A button at the same time. So push and hold your Control button on your keyboard. It should be the bottom left-hand key, and push your A button. Now what this has done is selected everything. You can now see that all of my text for the entire document is selected. Now with that selected, we're going to change the font, and we're going to do that by going to our Home tab, and we have a font grouping. Now font size is how many pixels tall your document font is, your words are. So we're going to choose a 11-point font. So we shrank it down from a 12-point to an 11-point, and we're going to change the line spacing to a 1.0. Now to change the line spacing, there's a couple different options you can do. You can do the very basic, which is in your paragraph grouping, and we have line spacing, and we can choose a 1.0. Or if you want to go a little more advanced, you can go in your paragraph grouping, choose your dialog box launcher, and then choose a 1.0 font from the dialog box pop-up. There we go. And here we go. We have indentation, and we have spacing, line spacing, and we can make it a single line space. And hit OK. Now again, that was 2 different choices. We can do a home group, paragraph, or home tab, paragraph tab, or group, and choose the up-down arrow with the line, and choose a line spacing of 1, or you could choose the paragraph dialog box launcher. All right, and the next thing we do is we're going to change the after paragraph spacing to a 6. So to do that, we're going to actually open up that paragraph grouping dialog box launcher. And we want the spacing after each one of our paragraphs to be a 6-point spacing. So we're going to go inside, outside, before, after, and we're going to change that to a 6-point and hit OK. So we've accomplished step 5 so far. We've changed the theme, we've changed the spacing of the words and the spacing of the paragraph, and we've decreased the size of each of the individual letters, or the font font size. Sorry, the word size escaped my mind. So in step 6, we're going to start working with styles on selected text. All right, so we're going to place the insertion point to the first line of text, which is the contractor's insurance questionnaire. Now remember that we've selected everything so far. So I'm going to choose a blank space on the document. I'm going to left-click my mouse, which unselects everything, and I'm going to highlight by left-clicking and dragging the contractor's insurance questionnaire. Then I'm going to click on the title style, which is in my home tab in the styles group. So I'm on my home tab in the styles group. I want to make this the title of my document. So you can see here they're named. We have normal, no spacing, heading, heading 2, and title. Now, because we used a theme, this title is set very specific with a new type of font, a specific font size, and this nice underline below it. Sorry, make sure I turn my phone off. So we've changed the title, or we've changed one line to a title on this particular document. Next, we're going to select the second line of the document, starting with the please carefully read. So I'm going to left-click my mouse. I'm going to place my cursor before the P. I'm going to click and hold my left button, dragging it across to all the words. Don't forget the period. And I'm going to release. Now for this one, I'm going to change this by right-clicking, and I'm going to select the style in my mini toolbar. So with it highlighted, I'm going to right-click, and you can see this little mini toolbar has appeared. No matter what tab you're on, you can always right-click to bring this toolbar up when you've selected a text. And here we have a miniature styles grouping. And so I'm going to choose a style, and I'm going to choose a very specific one. I want to select book title. So here we go. And mine is the 4th row, 3rd column. And I'm going to click on the book title. title. Next, with this text still selected, I'm going to click the Change Case button. So up here in the Home tab, in the font grouping, we have a couple different change buttons. We can increase our font size, decrease our font size, or we can change it from uppercase to lowercase or from lowercase to uppercase. Now notice that everything here is in uppercase right now. So I'm going to change that font size, or that font case. Now I'm going to change it to lowercase. Or I'm going to change it to uppercase, I'm sorry. There we go. So we've changed it all from some uppercase, lowercase to all uppercase. Now on step 6F, we're going to select the application's instructions and apply an intense quote style. So let's select the application's instructions by clicking my cursor before the A, holding and dragging, and I'm going to choose a style, and I'm going to use the styles grouping at the top of my Home tab, and I'm going to choose the radio button to drop it down to a bigger menu. And the one I'm looking for is the intense quote style. So we have here an intense emphasis, and we have an intense quote. So let's go ahead and click on that intense quote style. Next, on the second page of the document, now you can tell what page of the document you're on by the bottom left hand corner. I have page 1 of 2. I'm going to scroll all the way down, and I'm going to choose, I'm here on page 2 now, and I'm going to look for the sentence insurance application disclaimer, and I'm going to change that to an intense quote. So let's find the insurance application disclaimer. Here we go. I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to choose intense quote. We have done step 6. We're now on to step 7, and we're going to modify an existing style. To do this, we're going to click on the More button on the Home tab in the Styles group. So let's go to the Home tab and the Styles group, and we are going to display all styles in this group. So let's do the radio button down, display all styles. And then we're going to right click on the intense quote. So let's right click on the intense quote, and we're going to modify this theme. And we're going to modify it to be a 12-point font. So let's go ahead and modify. Give my computer a second to run here. And you can see here it has all the descriptions of this particular font. It is the intense quote. You can change the name, you can base the styles, but here we're at point 11. We're going to change that from 11 point up to a 12 point. And we're going to hit Format, and we're going to choose to do this as paragraph, and hit and change the left and right indent to 0. So let's go here to left indent 0 and right indent 0. Alright, so what this is going to do is on this, like insurance applicator, you can see below, it's going to move it all the way to the left, and it's going to change its font size to a size 12 and hit OK. And we're going to do it to only this document. You can see here at the bottom, if you do this to new documents, that will modify this theme for every document from here on out whenever you use intense quote, which I don't want to do because that will mess up all my future documents. I'm going to choose to only in this particular document, and I'm going to hit OK. Now watch what happens to the insurance application. It's moved to the left, and my line is all the way from left to right. And you can see here that it's actually done it on anywhere that I have used this theme quote. On step 8, we are going to add borders and shading to some selected text. So on the second page, again, I'm in the bottom left-hand corner. I can see I'm on the second page. I'm going to select the first 3 paragraphs below insurance application. So here's your insurance application, and I'm going to select the first 3 paragraphs. I'm going to start with E, And I'm going to go 1 paragraph, 2 paragraph, 3 paragraphs. And we're going to click on the borders drop down arrow next. So we're going to add a border around this particular grouping of text. So on the click the borders drop down arrow, which is on the home tab, and here in the paragraph group, so let's go paragraph group, we have this borders button. And so we're going to do the drop down radio button, and we're going to choose to put a border. And it's, oh no, we need to open up the dialog box. So we're going to choose the drop down arrow. We're going to choose the border and shading dialog box, and we're going to do a little bit of custom borders and shading around this particular document. Okay, so with the dialog box open, we are now going to modify and do a little bit of custom borders. So let's go here on the left hand side, and we're going to choose custom. So we want to choose all the individual pieces. Now right here on the right hand side, we have an active preview that will show you what your custom borders are going to look like. And we're going to select the borders and shading box. Now we're going to do a solid line border in the style area. So let's do a solid line border, and we are going to set the solid line border to a color area of orange accent 1. So instead of black, we're going to choose this orange accent 1. You can see it's the top row and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th column in. So our borders are now going to be orange, and we're going to change this with a width of 1 point. So right now it's pretty thin at 1/2 point. We're going to go all the way up to a 1 point thickness. And then we're going to click on the left and right borders. So in the preview box, we can actually choose where we want borders by using these boxes or buttons. So I'm going to choose the left border and the right border. And then apply to area. And we're going to apply to area. We're going to choose paragraph. And we're going to click the options button. And we're going to modify these options a little bit more specifically. Let's let it open up. All right, we're going to change the left setting to 5 points. So let's go left from 4 points to 5. And we're going to click OK and close the shorter dialog box. Okay. Next, we're going to click on the shading tab. So I'll go up here to shading tab. And from the fill drop-down list, we're going to choose orange accent 1. So we got fill. We have a drop-down list. Right now it's no color. We're going to choose orange accent 1, lighter 80%. Now if you hold your mouse on top of any of these colors, it will come up with a pop-up menu that tells you exactly what the name is. So I'm going to choose orange, lighter 80%. And we're going to hit OK. And we're going to hit OK one more time. And let it give it a second to think. We now have a nice little border on the left and right hand side, and the middle is shaded in with a nice lighter orange. We have a little bit of contrast there. Next, on step 9, we are going to change the paragraph spacing and add a tab stop with an underline leader to a selected text. So on the second page, we're going to select those last 3 lines of text: the name of title of insured, the signature of insured, and the date of application. So again, I used my left mouse click, put my cursor below the N, and dragged up and selected all of them. So we're going to go to the paragraph launcher or on the home and layout tab. So home and layout tab, we're going to go to paragraph launcher for the paragraph dialog box. And we're going to change the before paragraph spacing to 12 points. So let's go here in the spacing grouping. We got the before, and we're going to just use that up arrow to change it to 12 points. Then we're going to go into the tabs button, which you'll find in the bottom left hand corner. And we're going to open up and we're going to change your tabs to tab 7 in the tab stop position area. Give my computer a minute to think here. All right, we're going to do a tab 7, and we're going to set the it to a right. Let's see. And then we're going to click on the 4 or the solid underline. So we have a 7 tab stop, which lines up with the 7-inch. It's going to be right aligned, so we're going to have a line that goes from the words all the way to that 7. We're also going to have a leader that is not a Z nothing or dotted line or thick dash lines, but we want a solid line going from this over so the people signing this document have a line to sign on. And we're going to hit OK. Now, we're going to click at the end of the name and title of the insured line, and I'm going to hit my tab. And we do the same thing after the signature of insured. I'm going to repeat this process, putting my cursor at the end of D, hit my tab, and the date of application after N, and hit my tab. Now I have 3 nice lines where people can sign, write their name, put the dates in for this particular document, and I didn't have to sit there and hold my shift button and put the dash over and over again. So we're on to step 10, and for step 10 we're going to add a multi-level list. Now for this we're going to select the lines of the text beginning with applicant on the first page and ending with the last if yes please explain. So we're going to go from applicant all the way down to if yes please explain. And we're going to click on the multi-level list button, which is on the home tab in the paragraph grouping, and we're going to choose and select the 1AI. So we go here, we do the radio button, and we have a current multi-level, the 1AI. You can also do a 1111, 1111, all those type of things, pictures, headings. We're going to choose the 1AI. Now with this selected, we're also going to click the multi-level list button and select the define new multi-level list. So we're going to come up here to the multi-level list, and we're going to choose to define new multi-level list. And what we're going to do here is to select this multi-level list for all the levels. So to do this, we're going to set the bullet number position for the first. Okay, so the very first step we're going to do with this dialog box open, we're going to click on the number 1, make sure that our first level is created, and we're going to set for all levels. Now, for this first position, we're going to set the bullet number position for this level to 0. So let's just drop it from a 0.25 to a 0. And we're going to hit OK. And we're going to set the text position for the first level to 0.3. Let's change this to 0.3. And we're going to set the additional indent for each level to 0.3. So we've made a couple changes here of 0, 0.3, and 0.3. We're going to hit OK. And we're going to close this dialog box by hitting OK a second time. Next, we're going to increase the indent on certain selected lines. So we have this list, and we're going to unselect it. So we're going to click somewhere in the blank, and we're going to place your insertion point in the 13 numbered list. So right here, number 13. And we're going to choose to do this, and we're going to choose to click increase indent. So up here in the paragraph group on the home tab, we have decrease indent and increase indent. And so we're going to choose to increase this as now should be a letter A. And we're going to increase and repeat this step, and sorry, I'm stumbling over my own words. We're going to repeat this step again on each of the lines in the list that begins with if yes. So anytime you see an if yes, we're going to click on it and choose to increase indent. All right. Now there should be 28 numbered items. In this process. And notice that we only have 21. So I missed a couple of these So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this again. There we go. And I notice I'm still at 27 because I've made one more mistake. I've got, instead of if yes, if you're a contractor. So I'm actually going to show you how to decrease that. I'm going to click before the if. I'm going to come up to my paragraph grouping on my home tab, and I'm going to do a decrease indent. So now we should see 28 of these with a drop downs or indents of if yeses. And let's watch what we have. Okay, we're on step 12 now. We're going to change the paragraph spacing for this multi-level list. We're going to add a right tab stop with an underline leader. So we're going to select the entire multi-level list. And you can see here I'm selected. And the next thing we're going to do, we're going to click on the Paragraph Launcher dialog box, which is in your Home tab, Paragraph Grouping. Dialog box is in the bottom right-hand corner of that paragraph grouping. And we're going to choose to deselect the Don't Add Space between paragraphs of the same style checkbox, which you'll find in the very underneath the spacing, and we're going to choose to Don't Add Space between paragraphs of the same style. Next, we're going to click on the Tabs button in the Tabs dialog box. So we're going to open up the Tabs button and open that Tab dialog box launcher. And in the Tab dialog box, we're going to position the area to 7. Give my computer a minute to think. All right, we're going to tab it to the 7-inch mark, which is on your ruler as 7-inch. You can see it's 5, 6, 7. And we're going to set this as a right radio button. And we're going to click on the 4 solid underline. And we're going to hit on set. And click OK. Give that a second. Okay, that's now closed. Next, we're going to click at the end of the first numbered item, applicant, and press the tab. What you should see is a solid line come across the entire piece. Now we're going to repeat this step on each of the numbered and lettered paragraphs. So let's just go ahead and push tab on each of these numbered and lettered paragraphs. See, here is your letter. Now, instead of using the tab button up here, I'm actually clicking on the sentence and just hitting my tab button on my keyboard to get the exact same effect. Next, on step 13, we're going to save the document, top left corner. We're going to hit that save button. And then we're going to insert a page break in the document. We're going to place the insertion point before the text in number 22. So let's go here before the A. And in the we're going to push the key command Control and Enter to insert a page break. Now on step 15, we're going to add page numbers to this document in the footer of the document. So let's go here to the Control and Home on your keyboard, push them both at the same time, which will take us up to the very first position of our cursor of our document. And we're going to click on the page number button, which is in the Insert tab on the header and footer group. So we have Insert tab, we have header and footer group, and we're going to choose to put a page number in. And we want to put our page number in the bottom of the page And we're going to choose to bottom of the page, and we're going to come over here and we're going to choose which one. Bold number 3. So we've got plain number 2, plain number 1, accent bold number 3. Next, we're going to click on the blank line below the page number of the footer and push the backspace. So we're going to push our cursor down, blank spot, and just hit our backspace on our keyboard. That shrinks the cursor down, gets rid of that empty spacing a little bit. Next, on step 15E, we're going to click, we just did that, F, we're going to close the header and footer by hitting the Close Header and Footer button, which is on your Design tab, right-hand side, in the Close group. On step 16, we're now going to save and close the document. So let's go up to our top. We're going to hit Save, and we're going to close the document. So we're going to go File, and the Backstage View, and hit Close. All right, our document's closed. We can now close out the Microsoft Word by going to our Close dialog box, our Close button in the top right-hand corner. And the only thing we have left to do is to submit this file for uploading. Now, I have worked on this document on my desktop from the entire time. So I'm going to choose to upload my file. So I'm going to click the Upload My File button. I'm going to go on my desktop. Let's go up here to Desktop. And I'm going to choose that file that we've been working on. And that looks like Logan Phillips Online Learning. So that it's... Yep, I believe. So it's the Logan.Phillips questionnaire, not the online learning. So I'm going to choose my desktop. I'm going to find our Word document that we're working on, the insurance questionnaire, and I'm going to choose to open it. Now you can see that there's a preview on the right-hand side, so you can pretty much know exactly what you're doing. Make sure you're uploading the one that has your name, not the original start file. So we're going to hit Open. And yes, I am ready to submit this file. I've completed it. And then all I have to do is tell it to grade my file, and it will tell me everything I've done wrong or right. And it looks like I missed a couple points here. On 6G, and you can see here, and the next paragraph, please answer all questions. We're supposed to apply the strong style to the 3 words in capped, all, none, or none. So once you submitted this file for grading, it will tell you what you've done wrong or done right and give you the absolute points. So, and tell you where those are supposed to have been at. I was supposed to type in all, none, or none and make those bold. And on level 10, on the multi-level list, I should have set the text position for the first level to 0.3. So I think I put it at 0.25. All right, guys, that is how to upload, create, and do everything for this particular document. If you have any questions or answers, let me know. I have cell phone or office number is 595-7451. I'm in room 2110 at the Northeast Campus, and of course, you can always send me an email at logan.phillips1@tulsacc.edu. All right, guys, have a very